Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Wally Weasel. And here we are with some, Fallout 4. And, yeah. um, well, as you can see in the title of this video, this is my discussion video on, the Fallout TV series. Sorry about that. And I just actually got finished watching the series. Like, I just, binged it. And, just finished about, maybe 5 minutes ago. So these thoughts are fresh. I did not go out and look into other people's thoughts just yet. So I haven't seen any other video. I haven't even looked on the hashtag that is going on Twitter. That was going on the entire night. So, the entire night, the entire couple days. This is being recorded on Friday morning. So about a couple days or so after the series came out. I couldn't watch it the first day. Anyways, I'm blathering because I want to give people enough chance to, kind of click out of here. In case they're wondering, this is not a spoiler-free review or anything like that. This is a spoiler-filled discussion video, pretty much. Some of my points, again, like I said, this is just fresh off, so this is not scripted in any way. I don't even have really any pointers or, anything like that, because I just want to get my thoughts, feelings, and all that other stuff right out there. All right, so everybody good? Everybody gone? That doesn't want to be here? That was okay. Well, everybody who's left, obviously, you've either seen the series or you're just curious about people's thoughts on stuff. And initially, I liked it. It was a good story. I know, some people will be all like, "Oh, where were the Death Claws? Where was the super mutants and all that other stuff?" And I don't know, they're not really needed for a Fallout experience. Do you think? I mean, you look at New Vegas, and it's how many super mutants were there? There's 2 areas of super mutants, and they weren't even really involved in the main story. You could actually play the entire story of that game, run into a single super mutant. So, super mutants are not required. Although I did kind of think that Thaddeus there, that was his fate. He would kind of turn into a super mutant, and they'll fight him later, or we'd see him turn into a super mutant, kind of a ending an episode thing. But no, I guess he's a ghoul, maybe? Or is he kind of like Harold, where it's kind of, up in the air on what he is? After he was injected, but he was like, oh, Rad's not going to be an issue for you anymore. So yeah, that was the first thing that I thought about. Wow, I didn't realize that Thaddeus would be the first individual or really story point that I would be talking about. But there you go. That's what happens when you're not following any pointers or anything like that. But let's talk about the big thing, the Brotherhood of Steel, and how they were represented in this one. And I think the Brotherhood really represented the theme of the entire series that I got, and the theme of the entire series was power. Whether it be power electronically or power holding over, power against others. That one guy, Bud. Yeah, Bud. His whole thing about the most powerful weapon in the world is time and management. Or power. Ooh. And this Brotherhood chapter really went into the whole power scheme, didn't they? With the whole My Lord Knight or My Lord this, and Knights really being just a real class system, That's kind of what it reminded me of. It wasn't like a united force. It was just a class system. You had your knights, your squires, and your elder. No paladins. I didn't hear anybody referred to as a paladin or a sentinel, which is rather interesting. Oh, and obviously initiates, which is what Maximus was at the beginning of the his series. So yeah, and then him rising up, becoming a squire, and then putting himself into a knight position, and then I don't think he's going to be an actual knight by the end of the series, because if really you become knights by like popular demand. That's you know, but yeah, I mean the that Brotherhood chapter really needs to rethink itself. Otherwise, it's just going to tear itself apart from the inside. Because as you know, once again, we're going to focus on Thaddeus here. What he was saying about how he was picked on when he was an initiate, and then he was like, "Hey, you know, there's a guy right there. Let's go pick on him," because I was being picked on. And so he did, and so Maximus was all like, "Well, then when I get power, I'm going to abuse it as well." So that seems to be the cycle that was going on because yeah, Titus was like that as well. You know, he was kind of abusing his power. Just being pretty much a bit of a dick to Maximus. And yeah, kind of a different take on the Brotherhood, but you know, a lot of Brotherhoods have a different take and stuff like that. You know, again, New Vegas, their Brotherhood was different than any East Coast, and you know, all out. And speaking of the East Coast, they were kind of different than the West. I mean, they were so different that they were a part of it was cut off for a time. So yeah, and then the Elder really reminded me of Father Elijah, but not in the similar vein because you know Father Elijah was all about tech, and this Elder was all about power and having to take said power. So yeah, that was it's fairly interesting. We'll see how the Brotherhood goes on going forward, but yeah, at first I wasn't really a big fan of their portrayal, but then it's like, you know, at least they're not being seen as the big, huge saviors of the wasteland, which is good because that's kind of not what they are. But they also seem to have gone beyond their mission. Well. Anyways, next up, speaking about factions and the whole idea of factions fighting factions, Mr. Pre-war guy there. Yes, the New California Republic got their. Well, it seems like New California Republic is much, much smaller, and this is probably the biggest bet of contention I'm probably going to see in a lot of discussion and a lot of other videos, and that is the date that Shady Sands was destroyed. Because you saw on the chalkboard there, it said that the date that Shady Sands was destroyed was 2277. Now, in case you're wondering, New Vegas takes place in 2281. So if Shady Sands was destroyed 4 years before the events of New Vegas, then you think the NCR would be, talking about that? It's like, oh, our capital city was destroyed, and thousands or really hundreds of thousands of our citizens were all killed. I think it was hundreds of thousands, or was it tens of thousands? I don't know. It was a very faded letter. They only showed it very briefly, but it doesn't matter because the fact is that their capital city was destroyed. So would they have the attention to therefore expand eastward into the Mojave? That's the one thing that I kind of raised a brow about. That one date there. And given that the TV series takes place in 2296, ooh, they almost made it to 2300. Very nice. Very good year. Very good year. They could have expanded. They could have said like well, I suppose they needed it for Lucy's age, but still, they could have, let's see, 20. They could have upped it up a few years, but whatever. Again, that's my big contention on that is kind of a lore issue there, maybe, because again, like, it's just that the NCR just didn't really mention anything about it in New Vegas. So that was kind of a thing. And it's clear that New Vegas is a major factor because, hey, let's talk about that ending moment where you see the bad guy heading off towards New Vegas. And New Vegas looks to have seen better days, at least by going on the standard of the end credits. I don't know if end credits would be considered canon or not, or if they're just like a flashy look. But if they are to be canon, then NCR does not, or New Vegas, sorry, does not look to be too well endowed. But given that that he's going to, that Hank is going to New Vegas, does that mean that canonically Robert House is still alive? Because why else would he go to New Vegas? What else is there for him to go to? In this whole group thing that Coop wants to find and confront and stuff. So yeah, again, is Robert House alive? And in what condition? Will we see him on his screen, or will we see him in his tank, or what? And of course, the big question is, canonically, what happened at the end of New Vegas? I suppose it is. Yeah, well, I mean, not I suppose. I guess it would be Bethesda's decision onto doing that, and that would be very, very interesting. It's not like they haven't done it before. It's like we know canonically what happened at the end of Fallout 3. It's just, yeah, it'll be sure to raise some eyebrows, I'm sure, as we explore into that. But that is obviously the second season, which I'm sure will be made. Just, it'll probably take a while. Like, how long ago was it since the TV series was released, or at least not released, but announced? I mean, released was like 2 days ago. Announced, I mean, like first announced, not like just like, hey, we're gonna do this, like 2-3 years. So yeah, expect season 2 to take another long while. So we will see. Let's see what else is there. I did enjoy a lot of the Easter eggs. Like a lot of the noises were noises that you get from the game, and stuff like that. So sound development probably had a fairly easy time in that regard. It's like, oh, what sound does a stim pack make? Oh wait, no, there it is, right there. Or what sound does Nuka-Cola sound like, and stuff like that. And other Easter eggs, like people actually keep putting in coordinates to your Pip-Boy, because they always just say, "I'll mark it on your map," or "I'll give you the coordinates," and they just kind of stand there and stare at you. And then I guess they just kind of mentally do it up, but no, we actually see it physically happen. Sorry, I'm not like actually editing a proper video with scene examples of this. I'm not not that kind of channel. Clearly, this is just me talking and discussing and things of that nature. And yeah, aside from that, we also have to talk about the big bit that had me kind of mixed feeling, more so than my first introduction to the Brotherhood, and that is the potential of Vault-Tec being responsible for dropping the bombs. Now, I know, like, years and years and years ago, when there was planned to be a Fallout movie, that was going to be the whole twist, that Vault-Tec had dropped the bombs, or that they were responsible for dropping the bombs. So I don't know if this is just a thing of that, or if it's just them answering the fan theory. But they didn't show it happen. They just talked about it as a possibility, and that hey, they just made out like bandits, because China dropped the bombs either in retaliation or right off the bat. But yeah, so if people are freaking out about oh my god, they gave the answer on who dropped the bombs, they gave people discussing it, because I imagine that around that time there's a lot of people discussing about dropping the bombs and whatnot. So was that an answer, or was that just evidence of another possibility? I'm going to take it as evidence of another possibility, because I'm one of those types that's like, I need to see the hand pressing the button and the nukes going up, and then bam. But at the same time, does anybody really care? Because, I mean, I can't remember which game it was, but someone was like, hey, you ever thought about who dropped the bombs? And it's like, no, it doesn't really matter anymore, because we're trying to survive ourselves. We're not stuck in the past trying to figure that kind of stuff out. And, in Fallout 76, I mean, everyone and their monkey's uncle has been dropping nukes. Except me. Except me. I don't think I've ever done it because I hate writing robots. Robots are like my Achilles heel in that game. Yeah, I think that's really about it. This might be a part 1 video because, as I said, I'm going off on thoughts that just came to me. I did not really take too many notes, and so I might come up with other thoughts and theories and just kind of do up another video later on once I've had a proper chance for all this stuff to digest. I just wanted to do up a video and get it out there with my thoughts and feelings, and maybe get everyone else's thoughts and feelings, and maybe if there's thoughts or things that you noticed about the show that I didn't talk about, and you're like, hey, what'd you think about this, or this is what I thought about that, then I might respond or do another video with my thoughts on such a thing. And yeah, that's really about it. Thank you again for tuning in. I know that there's a huge bit of discussion going on around the Fallout TV series, either good or bad. I don't know, because again, like I said, I didn't check into any of this discussion bits and whatnot. But yeah. So thank you for tuning in and hearing my thoughts. If you were able to get them out there through all my ramblings, bouncing around and stuff. And I suppose I should talk about the vaults and their experiments. I mean, there wasn't really too big of an experiment. They were just there for breeding purposes and what have you, like people of Vault 32 and 33, and 31 being the whole kind of control over all the vault, which fairly interesting. Keep everyone in line, keep everyone happy, and all that stuff, which made sense. And I did like the vault kind of triangular system, vaults connected to vaults. I'm surprised they haven't really done that aside from, was it Vault 81 with the secret vault that was actually watching over everything, but that was still like one whole vault, really. This is like separate vaults, which would be an interesting concept to look into in the future. I think Fallout 5 could benefit from having something like that, like a vault connected to a vault, or what have you. I don't know. Just thoughts. Anyways, yeah, I should go now before this video becomes too long, and it basically becomes like a video essay. That's not what I want to do here. But yeah, like I said, I might do another part. And again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.